Apple is preparing to unveil its brand new iPhone lineup this Tuesday, and while excitement is running high, one particular model has been stealing the spotlight, the iPhone 17 Air. At first glance, this phone looks like the most exciting addition to the family, but not everyone is convinced. In fact, Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has compared the iPhone 17 Air to a very familiar piece of Apple history, the original MacBook Air from 2008, and not entirely in a good way. Back in 2008, the first MacBook Air was revolutionary in design. It was shockingly thin, incredibly portable, and unlike anything we had seen before. But here's the catch: it was also expensive, underpowered, and had poor battery life. It sat awkwardly between Apple's cheaper, but more capable MacBook and its much stronger MacBook Pro. In other words, it looked futuristic, but it came with compromises that many users weren't willing to accept. Fast forward to 2025, and Gurman argues that Apple is about to repeat history with the iPhone 17 Air. Yes, the phone will be thinner than anything we've seen from Apple so far. But that thinness comes at a cost, and the price could be features that users actually care about the most: battery life and camera performance. Leaked information suggests that the iPhone 17 Air will only have a single rear camera. Think about that for a second. In today's smartphone world, even mid-range devices come with at least 2 cameras, while flagship phones often boast 3 or even 4. Apple is going against the grain here, choosing thinness over versatility. For photography lovers, this is a major step back. Then there's the battery. With less room inside the phone, the iPhone 17 Air is expected to carry a smaller battery. Compared to the regular iPhone 17, that means shorter screen time, less reliability on long days, and more time searching for a charger. Considering how much people rely on their phones for everything, from work to entertainment, battery compromises are a serious concern. So where does this new iPhone sit in Apple's lineup? The iPhone 17 Air will land right in the middle. On one side, you'll have the standard iPhone 17, which will likely offer better battery life and more cameras. On the other side, you'll have the iPhone 17 Pro, which will easily outclass the Air in performance, features, and overall capability. That leaves the Air in a strange position, too limited to compete with the Pro models, but not necessarily better than the base model either. And this brings up a bigger question: does thinness really matter anymore? Back when laptops were thick, heavy, and bulky, the MacBook Air's slim design was a game changer. But today's smartphones are already slim, light, and easy to carry. Shaving off a millimeter or 2 just doesn't make the same kind of impact it once did. In fact, as Samsung found out with its Galaxy S25 Edge, another super thin phone, consumers aren't exactly lining up to sacrifice power for a slimmer profile. The S25 Edge was an engineering marvel, but its sales numbers didn't live up to expectations. Apple could be facing the same challenge here. But here's where things get interesting. Gurman doesn't think the iPhone 17 Air is meant to be a blockbuster product right away. Instead, he believes it's Apple's way of giving us a preview of the future. Think of it as a test device, a way for Apple to experiment with new battery chemistry, new engineering methods, and new manufacturing techniques. Over time, these breakthroughs will trickle down into the entire iPhone lineup, shaping the devices of tomorrow. In that sense, the iPhone 17 Air might be less about being the best phone today and more about laying the foundation for what's coming next. A thinner iPhone across the lineup, maybe even a foldable device somewhere down the road. These possibilities all start with what Apple is learning from the iPhone 17 Air. So should you buy it? That depends on what you want. If you're someone who values cutting-edge design and wants to own a piece of Apple's vision for the future, the iPhone 17 Air might be the phone for you. It will definitely turn heads and showcase Apple's innovation. But if you're more focused on practicality, like battery life, camera performance, and overall value, your money will probably be better spent on the iPhone 17 or the iPhone 17 Pro. At the end of the day, the iPhone 17 Air is shaping up to be Apple's boldest experiment in years. Much like the original MacBook Air, it's unlikely to dominate the market right away. But just as that first MacBook Air eventually transformed the entire laptop industry, the lessons Apple learns from the iPhone 17 Air could reshape the future of smartphones. This Tuesday's event will confirm everything. But one thing is clear already: the iPhone 17 Air isn't just a product. It's a statement about where Apple wants to go. The question is whether consumers are ready to join them on that journey right now, or if they'll wait until the future finally catches up with Apple's vision.